Happy weekend, movie fans. Epic Film Guy Justin here with another edition of Epic Film Guy's Rant View. This week I had the opportunity to see a film that I've been highly anticipating for quite some time. Michael Dougherty's Krampus, which is a modern take on the classic European folklore character who comes on Christmas to punish children who misbehave instead of what Santa Claus does. Anyone out there that knows Michael Dougherty's work, Trick or Treat, it's a modern horror anthology classic. This film was amazing. We know you love it. If you haven't seen it, you're living under a rock. So anyone that thinks of Michael Dougherty taking on the character of Krampus in a Christmas-themed film has to get excited. And I was. And I had all the right to be so. Krampus is a film that takes all of the things that we love so much about classic Christmas films and infuses the horror element in such a great way. Basic idea of the story: dysfunctional family gets together for Christmas. Yeah, I know we've seen it plenty of times in other films, and it takes cues directly from those films. Christmas Vacation, Gremlins, even Home Alone to an extent, all right? But it's done so well here, all right? So we have a boy named Max, who is the main character in the film. He's stuck in the middle. He's at that age where you're being told there is no Santa Claus. You still want to believe, and it's all part of the Christmas season. There's always those naysayers out there trying to ruin the Christmas spirit for you. And he's experiencing this, and he's in the middle of a dysfunctional family. We all know how that can be if you're a kid in those situations. So the kid has a letter to Santa, and with all this crap that he's dealing with, he tears up the letter and throws it out the window. Well, and that magically brings Krampus down on his ass to come down and punish his entire family. You know, with my rant views, I don't go really in depth on anything. I just kind of tell you how I feel about the movie. And so here, I'm going to get into the things about Krampus that I didn't like. And guess what? There really wasn't much at all that I did not like about this movie. Probably about halfway through the film, I felt that it did have some pacing issues. It started to lose its footing a little bit, where it kind of started to drag a little bit. It lost that energy that the beginning had that was so great. But then it found itself, and it sped back up, and the ending was pretty good. I really liked it. That's probably the only thing, though, outside of the pacing that I didn't care for, is that the ending, well, I really enjoyed, kind of didn't have as much punch as I was hoping for. The film had a great energy to it and a great build-up, and I really loved everything about that. But when it got to the end, you're kind of like, okay, that was a decent ending, but I felt like it could have been a little bit better, a little more punchy. But other than that, I really had nothing else bad to say about it. That'll go right into my things that I liked about Krampus. All the performances all around were fantastic. All of the comedy elements. I didn't see or hear one joke that missed its mark here. Had a great comedy element here and great chemistry between all the actors in the film. A use of practical effects here harkens back to films like definitely Critters and Gremlins. If you're a fan of those films, you have to see this movie. Like, just seeing practical effects in a modern day film like this really is a breath of fresh air and really makes your heart pump. If you're a fan of old school horror and old school cinema, you get that feeling like fantastic. Really loved that. All of the kind of creature effects and designs you would expect from Michael Dougherty after Trick or Treat are all present here. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys because guess what? If you haven't seen it, I don't like to spoil anything, but I really loved all the creature designs, all the character designs here, especially Krampus, which at first I was a little bit surprised by his appearance, but you'll see in the end it ends up working here. And I really liked how Krampus as a character is more of a force of nature than an actual character. He's pulling the strings behind the scenes. A lot of people probably thought that he was going to be, a main character in the film. You'd see him a lot. You see him a decent amount. When you see him, he's really impressive. However, he's really just like this mythic force of nature that's really causing all this crap to happen in the film. I think all of the horror elements, all the action sequences, everything was really well done, very well directed. I really liked the script. I really liked all the characters. My only issue, and this should have been back in the crap that I didn't like about it, is when stuff started going nuts. little bit of shaky cam. If you guys know my taste, you know that I really hate shaky cam. Found footage style was not present here, but I don't like shaky cam. And that kind of ruined a lot of the funner, more intense sequences for me. But outside of that, everything was a great fun time. I love Christmas movies. And even above Christmas movies, I love horror-themed Christmas movies. Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas, Christmas Evil, Gremlins. Who doesn't love Gremlins? All of those kinds of themes and ideas are present here, as well as all the things we love from Christmas classics like even Home Alone, Christmas Vacation. It's all here. All right, dysfunctional family, getting together for Christmas. It's a fun time, and it takes all those things from those old films and infuses them into an awesome new modern-day horror film for us to add to our yearly annual Christmas view list. I'm certainly adding it to mine, right up next to Trick or Treat during Halloween season. Epic Film Guy Justin and my rant view review of Michael Dougherty's Krampus would be an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, an 8.5. I think that the pacing definitely held it back a little bit, but overall, fantastic fun time at the theater. Really scary, really fun, and really funny. Not too scary to take your family, though. I think some kids will really enjoy it. It's really zany and tongue-in-cheek at times, but really, really fun. So I highly recommend Krampus. Check it out this weekend. Support horror in the mainstream that's well done, all right? Not the same old haunted house ghost garbage that we see getting churned out every single month. This is where it's at. Fantasy, awesome Christmas. There it is. Go see Krampus. And if you didn't know or not, we do our weekly edition of our podcast called The Real Rundown. Make sure to tune into that. Check out on our Facebook page for that. Be sure to participate and comment on that. And we're doing a challenge again this month, Dust It Off December, where you watch 10 films that you've seen before, but it's been a while, and you just want to kind of dust them off out of the old collection there and check them out for the Christmas season. They can be any kind of movie. Be sure to participate out and follow on the page, guys. Epic Film Guy Justin. Until next rant view, check us out on the Real Rundown podcast. See you at the movies and happy holidays.